What's good, YouTube? My name is Alex and we are True to Football and True to You. Today I'm gonna bring you guys my 2013 NFL season week 10 preview video. And man, last week I sucked. Terrible week. 6-7 record, 83 to 50 now. Last week for a couple of people many things went wrong, like the Green Bay game. Aaron Rodgers went down, you can't predict that. Saints lost to the Jets, another crazy one I call it. On the other side, well, also Nick Foles, 7 touchdowns, couldn't predict that too. And, I went with the Texans over the Colts. They almost won, that was a high-risk game. I gambled, basically. And it almost paid off, but again, bad week for me, no luck this week. So, let's see how this week goes. We'll start it off with Thursday Night Football, Redskins against Vikings. I have a new presentation style for my videos now to make it a little bit more interesting for you guys. I think the Redskins should win this one. In the end, I looked at who's the quarterback, and it's obvious. RG3 is getting better, and Pierre Garçon stepped up last week. And for the Vikings, this just is crazy. This Vikings secondary actually is terrible. Redskins ain't that good either, but in the end, you gotta believe the Redskins will pull it off because they have just a better offense. And the Vikings offense, I don't give them like 30 points or so. They played a good game last week, but I don't think this will happen this week because the Redskins in the end should be good enough to stop Adrian Peterson. They have some pretty tough linebackers, and if you commit to the run, they should be able to stop AP, at least hold him to 100 or so. That's enough. Next game we got Bills against Steelers. I'm picking the Bills here. Many people go with the Steelers. They think the Steelers are back on rhythm. I don't think so. They still only have, let's say, deep threat offense or inconsistent offense, and the Bills actually they have a lot to offer. This double punch running game with Jackson and Spiller, that's a great running game in my opinion. And this quarterback situation, we don't know who will be the quarterback next week, but both guys are good. Ben Roethlisberger has problems with this O-line, and the Bills they're doing their job. So I don't see much of an advantage for the Steelers here. Actually, I believe this Bills defense is good, better than a Steelers defense, and this ground game really going to make some trouble for the Steelers defense. In the end, I believe the Bills have a more dangerous offense and, will control the clock, will have more time of possession, and the Steelers don't turn it over. They're just a opportunistic offense, taking advantage. But I believe the Bills, Stephen Gilmore, a good safety, they will be careful and they won't let so much happen deep. They won't let these fast guys behind them every time, and that was the Steelers need, and also working ground game. But I really believe the Bills can control that Steelers defense. That's a good matchup overall for the Bills. Jaguars at Titans. You gotta still think about the Jaguars maybe pulling one game, not finishing 0-16. Maybe this week, I don't think so. I believe the Jags could win if they run it on the Titans, because the Titans really struggle when teams run on them. But actually the Titans are not a 4-4 team. They played against good teams. We saw it last week. They were able to beat actually a pretty good run team, very underrated Rams team. And for this game, I just think the Jaguars are just too dumb. This team, then they don't know what they're doing. Now Blackman is also out. This team is in a whole lot of mess. They need that first overall pick. I don't think they can pull it off on the road against the Titans, who also have got a pretty good, let's say dangerous, explosive run game. And Jaguars, I believe, are dead last in run defense. So you gotta just simply go with the Titans here at home. Rams against Colts. It's a pretty good chance the Rams win it, but I was like, they're the better team. But now look at Andrew Luck at home. He's a clutch quarterback at home. He pulls fourth quarter comebacks at home. And again, last week they were down, and Andrew Luck wins the game even on the road against a pretty good Texans defense. They have I believe the best pass defense in the league, which really surprised me. And it's still Kellen Clemens at quarterback. You don't know how much of a fourth quarter quarterback he can be, and in the end, it's really the quarterback that makes me go with the Colts here, because their running game, Zach Stacy, we predicted this in my running back rankings. He's a damn good running back, and he's helping that Rams team a lot, but in the end, quarterback is more important than running back, especially late. where you gotta score quick, and that's why I'm going with the Colts at home. Raiders against Giants. Let's face it, let's look at it that way. Nick Foles was able to really, 7 touchdowns and about 500 yards. I'm not even sure what the stats actually are, but he could do pretty much everything on this Raiders defense, and it has not been much different for other teams. This Raiders secondary and in general also the defense is almost terrible. The Giants defense is a lot better, even though they're not really showing up right now. The Giants have so much potential. Honestly, they shouldn't be 2-6. I believe they can make it 3-6 this week because Eli Manning, Hakeem Nicks, if he finally steps up, Victor Cruz. That's just 3 Pro Bowlers. I don't think against this terrible defense they will not score. That would be just crazy in my opinion. It's just mind-blowing to go with the Raiders secondary against the Giants passing game. It would be stupid. Also, Brent Jacobson may be back and he's key to that offense. Many reasons to go with the Giants here, obviously. Seahawks against Falcons. It's an upset pick if you go with the Falcons, but many people considering that right now because Falcons at home, Seahawks on the road. Yeah, that's a big reason. That's a long way down into Atlanta. But let's look at Matt Ryan against a pretty good secondary. In the end, I believe it will be just simply the case that this Falcons defense is terrible against running quarterbacks. We saw it last week against Cam Newton. They couldn't contain him. They couldn't control a game. The Seahawks do similar things to the Panthers. They try to go rollout mode. They try really to be a run-first play-action offense. That's what the Panthers do often too. And you look at Matt Ryan turning the ball over 20 times a game, almost. Seahawks defense is pretty good, especially if it's about turnovers. Richard Sherman is back there, and that entire secondary is pretty damn good. You just don't think the Seahawks are tired enough or whatever on the road to lose against the Falcons. Falcons don't have that home advantage still. They had it the last 2 years, but this year is different. Bengals against Ravens. Man, again I'm going with the Ravens. I believe I have been going like 90%, let's say, out of these 8 games, maybe 6 or 7 times with the Ravens. Way too much confidence, I believe, I have in the Ravens. But this week, again, I believe it's a good matchup. The Bengals have to learn how to, deal with opposing O-lines without their key defensive tackle Geno Atkins. I believe they will really struggle on that, and the Ravens O-line is terrible, but that Bengals D-line is really hurt, I believe, without Atkins, and that will confuse them. I believe the Bengals don't have much an advantage right there, and the Ravens eventually could run it on the Bengals defense with Ray Rice. They kept to it last week. Browns defense was pretty good, didn't find a way to get that going, and still, they have Torrey Smith, they have some good wideouts basically, and actually a good quarterback. Yes, he has to get blocking, but on defense I really look at Ladarius Webb, making a comeback game, making a statement after he got his ankles broke by, who was it? I believe the one best. Yeah, it was a great move, man. I really want to watch it again right now. It was an awesome move. I believe he may come back and really shut down AJ Green. He has the potential. He can get on the line, keep him on the line, and really stick to him. I believe the Ravens really can slow down that Bengals offense, and should be a close game. And now it's home advantage for the Ravens, and they can't go to 3-6, man. That would be a neck breaker for the Ravens. I believe they will rally and win that one, a close one though. And next we got the Lions against the Bears, and this game will be a high-scoring ball game in my opinion. In those games you gotta go with the better quarterback that can win you the game late, and I believe it will be a close game really. But the backup quarterback of the Bears, he going to hold the ball too long at some point of the game, I believe. This Lions, front four is really good, and I believe they will get to the quarterback of the Bears, definitely, and they will get this Bears offense off the field on 3rd down. And I believe the Lions just going to have more time, and they can take advantage of Megatron and Reggie Bush and that combination to just keep drives going and lower the chances for the Bears offense. They got Brandon Marshall, and they're going to score definitely on this Lions defense too. But I believe the Lions offense, if they can stay without turnovers, they got the best chance to win this ball game on the road at Chicago. Now we look at Philadelphia with Nick Foles, who just almost broke a record last week. Coach kept him off the field on in the fourth quarter. And now you look at the Packers. They ain't the Raiders. This Raiders secondary is terrible. Pretty much everybody can do that against the Raiders. And really, I mean, I still don't believe Nick Foles is that good. I was saying like, man, this guy will be the next Matt Flynn, getting paid big because of one big game. If he can't repeat this week, you know, maybe the critics will be calling again. I don't believe Nick Foles is that good, and I make this Packers pick because I believe the Packers will bring in another quarterback, like Vince Young, like Matt Flynn. I don't think they will go with Seneca Wallace. Honestly, they know this guy can't run the offense. I mean, if they run with Seneca Wallace, I believe I will change this pick because the Eagles still got, you know, a good quarterback basically, and this Packers defense ain't that good either. So you look two bad defenses and, you know, two good running games. Right now the Eagles have the better passing game, but if the Packers just get a decent quarterback, they will be better, you know, throwing the ball because they have just great wideouts. They will beat this Eagles defensive backs all day long, and you know, I just believe there's really a home advantage right here. Nick Foles won't repeat that on the road. Packers also get turnovers. I believe he will turn it over this week. I mean, Nick Foles, so should be a Packers win if they get a quarterback. Panthers against 49ers, that's an upset pick in my opinion because the Panthers are similar to the 49ers, and honestly, Luke Kuechly going to slow down, almost stop that 49ers running game maybe on his own, and I believe really they can dictate the game. They can dictate what they want to do on offense and on defense. I believe they're just going to really control that game on the road, and Cam Newton is really right now in rhythm, and I also think he's a better quarterback. I don't like Colin Kaepernick. I've never been on this, you know, fan buzz of, you know, keep and you know, his move. I don't like him. I think this will be a game where we just see playmakers make plays. The Panthers, you know, if they control Anquan Boldin, I believe they really got a matchup with Anquan Boldin there, the 49ers. If they really just control him for the most part of the game, the Panthers will score enough points against this tough 49ers defense to win this ball game. Next we got the Texans against the Cardinals, and I believe this Cardinals defense will be all over the Texans offense. There's a chance the Texans don't even score double-digit points this week. Man, the Cardinals really can slow down the passing game with Pat P, Tyrann Mathieu, and you know, I mean, the Texans only got Andrew Johnson and DeAndre Hopkins right now. They don't have that play action tight end passing game they had with Owen Daniels. He's still not back, and this running game of the Texans also ain't working really that good, you know, this year. And the Cardinals defense is pretty tough, you know. This Cardinals defense, I mean, that's a defense you just gotta trust in at home against the Texans this week. And, you know, I believe that's just pretty much the reason why I go with the Cardinals. It doesn't matter how good the Cardinals offense is. Cardinals defense will be good enough to win this ballgame anyway. Broncos against Chargers, and there you just look at the better offense. Obviously, it's a really consistent offense you got with the Broncos, and the Chargers offense is pretty good too. You will see a 35-30 ball game. Should be an even matchup, but in the end you gotta go with better pass rush for the Broncos and just more consistent offense for the Broncos. They should go to 8-1. And at Sunday night we got the Cowboys against the Saints. Man, who? Rob Ryan? That's his old team. Maybe he gets an advantage for his team this week. There, you know, just knowing some stuff about them. But you look at this Cowboys team. They are so dangerous on offense. They can go many different ways, and DeMarco Murray back is key for the Cowboys because to win against the Saints you gotta run on them. You gotta control the clock. I believe it's even more important doing that than doing that against the Broncos. That's my way to say it. You gotta control the ball, keep Drew Brees off the field because, you know, Drew Brees turns the ball over more, and having less chances they try to do too much. And Darren Sproles probably will be out. You know, that's a guy you can go to if they spread it out, and I believe it should be a pretty much high-scoring ball game. I don't think this pretty good Cowboys defense can be that good this week to keep Drew Brees to like 20 points. That would be crazy. I still think it's possible, but I trust this Cowboys offense more to control the clock, control just, you know, the lead they should have throughout this ball game and win in the end on the road against the Saints, because they really got a chance before their bye week this week to move on to 6-4 to break that, you know, 500 stuff the Cowboys always messing around with this season. And for Monday Night Football, we got the Dolphins against the Buccaneers. Buccaneers play at home, and I believe they will win their first game. Yeah, that's a big upset because the Buccaneers offense has been terrible over the last few weeks. But I believe they will take advantage of what they got in Winston Jackson against this Dolphins defense. And it should be a game where you won't see many points scored. It should be a well-controlled ball game. A lot of punts maybe, but really, the clock will keep ticking. And defensive matchups for the Buccaneers also. Revis against Wallace should be key. Wallace will be shut down. Ryan Tannehill, he can go with the check down game to keep the clock running. But he will turn it over, taking shots deep. And if the Buccaneers can avoid turnovers, I believe they have a chance to win this very low-scoring ball game. And I believe at some point they just have to take advantage of what they get. And I believe the Dolphins will give them a chance to win this ball game. And I think it will be just enough for the Buccaneers to finally win one this week. So that's what I got for this week. There's another overview of all my picks. Hope you liked the video. Please leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, and we see all ya next week. Peace.